video much of this whole process over the last 3 months because it's pointless to keep videoing the same things that keep happening over and over and over again, because I would be tired of hearing about it too. But I have reached my cap completely with this truck, and I got like I say, we about $5,000 in to trying to fix this truck. We're about 3 months of troubleshooting. Wiring diagrams, checking everything, checking shorts. Everything was done. In my opinion, everything was done in the right order. Like, there was nothing really that was missed based off of YouTube videos, wiring diagrams. Everything, even the video that I saw that somebody had the same exact issue, we did that off rip. I did that off rip by myself. So before I even took it to a shop, when I take stuff to a shop, it's major and major. Like, I cannot figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been dealing with this truck too long. You run a truck, personal truck. You run a work truck so long that you pretty much know it. And because if you want to keep money in your pocket, you're going to be working on stuff yourself. So needless to say, if I did all I could, and then you all know, I'm just trying to give you guys the weight or the magnitude of me taking it to a shop and it's staying at the shop for a whole nother, or back and forth in and out the shop for about a month. Because if I can't figure it out and they really can't figure it out, man, we in a tough spot. And guess what? I checked my tuner. I'm gonna turn the camera around, and there she is. I'm not getting the wrench light or the check engine light on right now, but history repeats itself, man. And like I say, man, they just put a new Ficum in. We got a lot of new stuff in this truck. I'm afraid to give me all the same codes. We already know it's some wiring. Like, we know it's wiring. We can't find a short. The only thing I can think of left is to change out the map sensor pigtail, because the map signal pigtail has not been changed, and that's the only thing based off of the other video I watched of another guy with the same issue. He changed out the actual map sensor. This is my second map sensor that I've swapped out, and I'm getting the same exact problem. So unless it's the pigtail, because that pigtail wiring is old, even though it has I have a new main engine wiring harness, though. The piece that leads from the pigtail, there's some wires on there or pieces of the harness that are not new. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I can think of is the wiring harness to it and the pigtail to it. But if that's not the case, you know what I'm saying, that's the only thing left. And if that's not the case, then I have no idea. For me, the only thing really left to do is, sell the truck as is, to be honest. I can't keep dumping money into a truck that don't run. That's not working for me and my family. It's been about 3 months now. We're coming up on month 3. You know what I mean? And this truck is like painful. It's painful to go through, especially something wiring related. Most stuff you can kind of figure out, but we just have not been able to locate this, man. We've had people that's worked on, like, the guys that work on this truck, they know what they're talking about. Like, they really do. And they have went through this truck, as fast, and they went through quick, they went through slow. They kept the truck, they ran the truck for 300 miles, 300 miles. I just did 220 something miles from the shop. I don't know if y'all can see. 223 miles from the shop. I'm in Iowa right now, and just basically crossed over into, I'll be in Des Moines, or however you pronounce it, in 2 hours. Once I start driving tomorrow, in about 2 hours. I know I can drive the truck. It's just a little sketchy. I ain't gonna lie. Good news is, when you cut the truck off and cut the truck back on, everything resets. So even if I did come up with an issue, I can still, basically run and do what I gotta do, drop off my loads. And as long as, I keep my stopping to a minimum, I think that I should be all right to go out to Salt Lake City and come back. At this point, I'm not driving for hours back to St. Louis, Missouri, you know what I'm saying? Or wherever, the shop is, near St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not driving 4 hours back, because I did that last time when I picked up my truck. I picked up my truck almost a week ago, and I saw the situation happen, all the same stuff happening, but it was a little bit worse. And it happened 2 hours away from the shop. I booked, double backed. It was a Sunday. I didn't have far of a drive. I only had 5 hours to go that Sunday. And I just went ahead and took it back, wasted a lot of time, and got parked you know, within the last bit of my hours. So wasted a whole lot of time, but it is what it is. You got to figure it out, especially when it's your truck. It's not like the shop. It's not like, that's the thing about owning it too. Like, you really got to figure it out, you know. I don't know what to do. I really don't. Any suggestions, y'all let me know. I'm gonna go to bed. Y'all take it easy. I sharp me out. Peace. All right, y'all. So I was working on my truck this morning. I had to pop the hood, unplug the EVP sensor to the truck. Some people are saying, I got mixed reviews. Some people saying you can ride with the truck unplugged. I haven't gotten any. Well, I did get a code just now. So I'm gonna check to see what that is. And hopefully it's just the fact that it's reading that it's unplugged. But aside from that, hopefully I don't get any other codes. But anyway, man, y'all check this. Well, I don't know what. Oh my goodness, this cat won't leave me alone. It's trying to come with me. Somehow it's on the roof of the truck. It done climbed up like the back, hanging out, trying to come with me, and I don't know why. This is about the wildest day. It's been hanging out with me literally all morning. So it's wild. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get to my drive. Y'all stay tuned, stay blessed. Peace. Okay, good. So the only code I'm getting right now with it being unplugged is the circuit is low. The exhaust pressure sensor A circuit low. But I'm gonna try to roll with it and see if I get any other codes, you know, that hopefully don't affect this. I don't know. I'm just gonna see what happens with it being unplugged. I'm gonna just drive and see what happens, man. That's all you can do. Guys, just hanging out. I don't know why it wants to come, but what happened was I happened to know every time I hit the brakes, that's when all the stuff started kicking on, and then I started getting codes. Like, it's literally right after that moment. So I pinpointed it when it happens. So it may have to be something due to that. The thing is, the map sensor and the exhaust back pressure sensor, all that stuff is related. So on the wiring diagram, I've already changed out the map sensor. It made me change the map sensor pigtail. The last thing I didn't do, that's what I was trying to say. The only thing I didn't do is I blew out the tube to the EVP, but I did not change the actual tube itself. So maybe that's the only problem. The tube itself just needs to be changed. But it may be clogged or whatever the case may be, because this truck, that tube itself has 500-some thousand miles on it. It's never been changed. But anyway, I'm gonna drive the truck, see what it does. Hopefully, you know, I'm just gonna fill the truck out, you know what I mean? I know how the truck runs, so I know how it's supposed to run, you know, without any of these computer gauges or whatever the case may be. I know what I should hear, and I know what I should feel. As far as turbo boost pressure, all that stuff, without even looking at any gauges. So I'm gonna run with that and shoot, see what we find, man. See what we find. I really don't understand why this cat thinks it's coming with me. It's been following me all morning long. All right. So we might have gotten somewhere from the video that I have been watching, like, over the past couple of days, just over and over and over again, pointing me back to the map sensor. Mind you, I told you guys I changed the map sensor. Again, I repeat, I changed the map sensor when I first started this journey of, you know, figuring out what this issue was. But what I did not change was the pigtail. I changed out all the other pigtails and the sensors to every other thing that's related to this issue, but I never changed out the pigtail to the map sensor, and legitimately did not even think about it. So, which led us to changing out wiring harnesses, FICMs, all this other stuff, because we was like, everything else has been changed. Needless to say, I started the process over. I unplugged the EVP, and as soon as I did that, took off, started driving down the road, everything, where I kind of went to the fritz, I got the wrench light, whatever the case may be. Everything was plugged up, but the EVP. After I did that, I pulled over to the side of the road, and I unplugged the map sensor and turned the truck back on, and re-plugged up the, what is it called? I unplugged the map sensor and re-plugged up the EVP sensor. And the only code that I got at the time was, the baby's basically saying that the map sensor was unplugged. We're rolling with the check engine light. Check engine light is on because of just the map sensor. It knows it's unplugged, and it gave me that code immediately. The truck runs the same. You know, I have a 2007. The truck runs the same. I actually have turbo boost, which is actually pretty nice. It almost runs like, it just runs the same, and that's it's really to my surprise. I don't have any like weird junk happening. So that's good news. So I'm about to run the truck. I got like what, an hour? Probably about, sorry, it's like real bumpy on this road. But your boy got about an hour left to drive, and I'm gonna run the truck to my next load. My next load is probably about 2 hours away. After I pick up this load, and that's gonna be a total of 3 hours. The same amount of time in which I did yesterday. I'm not gonna check no codes till I get, like, pick up the next load, and that's when I'm gonna check the codes. And if I get just that map sensor unplugged still, after stopping, going, whatever the case may be, you know, without having the turbo happen, without having any, you know, information to the turbo, because the map sensor is unplugged. You know, I have a little bit of turbo. It's only giving me maximum probably about 7 PS on the turbo. That's all I'm getting. That's all I'm getting naturally. So, with that being said, if I get nothing else, like for the rest of the day, after going up and down hills and all the case may be, guess what? I probably need to change the wiring to the map sensor. And the map sensor itself was never the problem. It was the pigtail. So if I change this pigtail out, you know, before the end of the day, and go on my rest of my drive, like for the rest of the day, because once I pick up the next load, I'm headed to Salt Lake City. And if I have no more problems the whole drive there and all the way back, that was my whole problem. It was the pigtail to the map sensor, which I did not do, and it cost me $5,000 because I thought it led me to all this other stuff. Anyway, I'll shout me out, man. Y'all stay tuned. Prayerfully, this is it, and we can just keep rolling with this truck, and you know, and not have any more issues. Anyway, I'll shout me out, man. Y'all stay tuned. YouTube, man. We finally made it about an hour and a half outside of we parked at the truck stop. It's Sunday, but and we finally found the wiring short, and this junk could have been found a long time ago. For those of you who have fast forwarded the video, on the very first I did, just a little backtrack, was to check the map sensor. Turns out when I changed the sensor itself, didn't check the pigtail, put the new wiring harness in, but the new wiring harness did not come with, which I thought all of the wiring harness, it only came wiring harness, but this wiring harness here to the map sensor, it was never changed. So every time, now mind you, it's been intermittent problems left and right. There we go. Intermittent problems left and right. Finally found the darn wiring short once we got all the way out here, because I ain't had problems this whole time until I popped the hood, touched this because it was about to fall out. We folded it back, and then boom, you got the wiring short right there that was hitting up against this metal right over the turbo. That's been the short this whole time. HOTSHOT. Thank you. It's crazy.
The little things.
Sure is. What is it?
The little things.
The little things. So, man, all we're gonna do is put some dielectric grease on it. Suggestion was to go ahead and just tape it up and just keep it pushing, because the truck's been running flawlessly all day. I mean, I just gotta get a tune on this thing, but aside from that, that's it. But it's been 3 months of trying to figure this one little, could have been so simple, but it is what it is. Dumb thousands of dollars off of this. But anyway, you never know. Happy hunting if you ever have this issue. But definitely check that map sensor if you ever have all those codes at once, like I showed you guys earlier. And make sure you check not only the map sensor, change the part out itself first, and then also check the wiring harness and all the whole harness leading up to that way. And especially that people break them things. Any mechanic we've been to, they be breaking these little things right here all the time. You have to zip tie them towards the end, or buy a new one, one of the case may be, because it definitely holds all that wire back up in there, and mine done split. But it is what it is. Anyway, at least I got a new truck now. HOTSHOT me out, man. I'm gonna get this button up. Y'all stay tuned. Peace. All right, YouTube. So we're finally headed up out of Salt Lake City. We got these straight. Look at the altitude. We're going straight uphill, going crazy. Check the load. We're doing pretty well right now. And needless to say, I just wanted to point something out for you guys. Y'all see this right here? This switch. This switch went to those wires on my windshield wipers. For the winter, I had a switch installed for the Everblades thermal, what is it called? Windshield wiper heater, so it turns. So a lot of times in the winter when I'm driving, you know, up north and everything, the ice will get on my windshield wipers, and it sucks because they won't be able to move, you know, if I don't, you know, manage everything properly. So I got the heated ones, but I didn't end up using them at all this past winter because I didn't really, you know, see the winter too much in this particular truck. I don't even really know why, but I just didn't end up using like I thought I would this past winter. So needless to say, we took the power wire from those Everblades windshield wipers, and we moved up to the blue wire on the actual clutch fan. It's a beautiful mod because check, it's 82 degrees right now. It's 88 at the bottom of Salt Lake City, Utah. My temps, I'm at the top of the mountain now, and I'm literally doing 1100 on the EGT, 201 on the coolant, and 212 on the oil, and that's at the top of the mountain. And the fan's basically been on the whole time. Just to say, if you can find out where your power wire to your truck is and wire you a switch to it, power wire running straight to it, get a switch there, ground it out. You'll be able to, you know, stay cooler and climb these mountains over here, because we're coming up out of Salt Lake City, like I said, over in 80, and we're headed over to Denver, Colorado, and it has my truck staying cool. And now fan's still on, I'm gonna let it cool itself down. We have 197 now on the cooler and 211 on the oil, so it's definitely something you need to do. Also have the Mishimoto Racing high temp thermostat installed in here. We installed that as well yesterday because I just had it laying in the truck. It was one of the things I was gonna do a while back before the summer hit, but you know, the OG pressured me. It was like, man, install that switch, install that thermostat. I didn't want to after the long drive and, you know, dealing with my truck with the mass airflow sensor unplugged and trying to figure it out. But once we finally figured it out, he said you might as well do all this other stuff. Push the button, and I'm so happy we did, because ain't no way I would have been able to climb up these mountains, man. Can't even see how tall they are. I'm up there. These 6.0s already don't like tall loads for real, and keep the truck cool. So I'm happy about it, and I just want to give you guys a little tidbit of a tip. It's definitely a necessary mod in the summer if you plan on climbing mountains. Anyway, I'm gonna get to my drive. We headed back to the East Coast because we got a lot to do. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna let the spirit move us. All right, here's another instance. I'm climbing up a 7% grade right now. 5,000 pounds on the trailer. Super tall load, a lot of wind resistance. Looking at 79 degrees. Look at the temps. Look at the switch. Look at the temps. Look at the switch. Say too is I definitely forgot to mention that I am running a stock can tune, the aggressive 50 horsepower tow tune from SET on the actual can tune scanner. I'm waiting on my other tunes to come in right now so I can swap them over. So all these numbers are based off stock truck, stock running numbers, and it definitely like bogs the fuel mileage down a little bit, like right doing 11.5 miles per gallon with a low and light load. Granted, the wind, I'm getting some probably like, I don't know, probably like 3 to 5 mile an hour winds headed at me right now, coming out of Kansas City. I mean, not headed towards Kansas City, I mean. So, you know, the fuel mileage isn't as great as a tune would do, but like I said, I'm definitely gonna test both tunes that I got. I'm gonna let you guys know which tunes work the best for the truck. You know, I'm gonna reprogram, I mean, you know, clear out the cam on the truck, load the tunes. Hopefully they come in today, you know, around noon, so I can, you know, get this footage for you guys, you know, especially while I'm on flat ground, you know, with, you know, the same load, you know what I mean, and get some different numbers for you guys. Like I said, 11.5 on the MPG, you see the numbers on the tuner, and we'll see with these tunes, but if they come in today, what they do, and I'll be doing a full review on those too. But anyway, y'all stay tuned, stay blessed. All right, YouTube fam, it's finally during the day. So earlier those numbers were based off the morning time. It's we're coming up on the midday, and we're running at 83 degrees right now, and I'm doing about 70, going up a little bit of the grade, and we got 205 on the coolant, 215 on the oil with the, well now it's dropped to 214 on the oil with the thermostat. So that's the numbers that we're running right now, man. So I'm probably giving it like 30% fuel. Well, you see the engine load, we're at 60% engine load, well 65, something like that. Going up this grade. I haven't dropped the gear yet because, like I said, I don't have my have the Mac with me and not the Windows. But anyway, I might see if I can find a library somewhere and see if they'll let me download some stuff. See if I can run it like that, because I'm too excited. I can't wait. Can't wait. Anyway, let me get to my drive, man. Y'all stay tuned. All right, so one last readout. We just went down to the bottom of the hill. Truck cooled down all the way to 199, 211 on the oil. So point out that earlier when it was about 65 degrees, the lowest I saw was like 189, you know, consistently. So you probably can get about 189, you know, during the summer in the mornings, you know, on a good day. Because right now we're at 197, about to start cresting the hill. So what you got to look forward to with this thermostat. But anyway, y'all stay tuned. Y'all, now that I've been climbing for a little bit, excuse the gum, but now that I've been climbing for a little bit, I definitely, you know, try to get my temps up to show you guys how the actual fan switch does operate and how quickly these temps come down. Driving still inclining. We're doing about what, 67, 68 miles an hour, and we got 213, 219. The truck, you know, on paper handles way like a little bit more. Like right now, this is the range that stock should be at. But I'm climbing and hauling, you know what I mean? So, and I'm also going 70 miles per hour going up this hill. So now if I hit the switch down here, check it. I don't even know if you're gonna hear the fan come on, but watch these temps as I'm going uphill. Just go ahead and calm themselves down. You're gonna see how long